Hello and welcome to another Division 2 video. Yes, in this video I'm gonna show you my reworked version of a PvE solo player build. I played really a lot of hours and I tested so many things in the couple days and weeks, I would say. And yes, this so far I would say it's the best PvE solo player build right now, at least for me. As I said in the previous video, the most important thing you need right now, it's still the same. So there are so many possibilities in builds and so many gear pieces and sets that's yeah, quite insane. You have such a ton of options to do, but as I said, this is just my preferred version at the moment and I go quickly over the whole build. You can see the overview right now and you can see there are 6 different gear sets brands in my build, so I haven't have 2 of the same gear brands and it's not needed because the one piece bonuses are sometimes really strong and enough, much better than the next 2 ones. So that's the reason why I have still some improvement for sure, but I will talk about this as well. Let's start with the weapon. As you can see, the last time I was using the M249 or MK46, and because of the high base damage, just have a look, it's 26.4, although the fire rate is lower for sure, but it's a lot higher compared to my MK46, what I'm using otherwise, or this one here. It's just insane. So for the not normalized stuff, it's really, this one works just better for me because the base damage is so much higher. And yeah, it's the same talents as before, so meaning 25 weapon damage in cost of 35 weapon handling. Doesn't matter too much because the 60, it's pretty good to control anyway. And yeah, I have a way around to this as well. And as you can see, while equipped, this weapon increased throwing distance is not really needed in my opinion, but I couldn't reroll this one because I wanted to have Allegro, 10% rate of fire, so that's why I can't actually reroll cannon, but therefore there would be better talents for sure. And the secondary, I usually a sniper or an SMG, and mainly because of the last talent overlap, and means holstered. While holstered, your equipped weapon gains a handling bonus based on this weapon type. Yes, I know some talents are really confusing because you don't know how much at the end you will get. It's quite hard to say. There are quite a lot of talents and stuff on the gear as well where you're not quite sure how much you really get. But for me it works pretty well. So with this weapon here, I regret the benefit a little bit from the one here, the first one unhinged, and it balances a little bit out in my opinion, so it works really well. Secondary or the sidearm, let's say like this, I used the double barrel sword of shotgun just because of the last talent. While holstered, you are able to resist 5 ensnare attempts, can occur once every 60 seconds. For me, one of the most annoying things is definitely the foam guys, and yeah, if you have this equipped, then you can resist at least 1 attack each 60 seconds, and this can prevent you from death, especially when you play solo, because yes, let's be honest, you're pretty fucked up when you get foamed by these guys and you're surrounded by a lot of NPCs. So this is the reason for the talents and the weapon I'm using on this build. Let's go straight over the other gear pieces. And as you can see on the top left side, this is always the most important thing to have in mind, that you can unlock all the talents on your weapons and all the talents on your gear as well. There is no special achievement from this one here, or you don't have to have a look on something on the gear, but as an example on the backpack, when you have a look at safeguard, so you have to have 5 or less firearms mods stats on the gear. And as you can see on the left side, 554 is the gear score, and on the bottom left side there you can see I have 5. So exactly the same amount, otherwise I couldn't unlock this talent, which is really a good one. Then the left or on the right side you see 7, so this means armor and health, all these combined stats together, and left side on the top is the skill power thing. And you can see it's not that much into skill power because it's not needed for the normal builds in the game right now. The mask is the same one as in the last video, so I will not talk too much about this. It's just because of its insane amount of damage to elites on this mask, 55% just from this one here. Then the chest piece is changed to the previous one. So the one I use right now is Unbreakable, means 25% of max armor is repaired when your armor is depleted, and armor kits used within the next 5 seconds are not consumed. So this is really awesome. That means from the armor you have, 1/4 you get as an extra health or armor, let's say like it is, as soon as the armor is depleted. So the NPCs or the enemies, the players, shoot your armor off, and boom, you get 25% back. It's always different. If you have a look on the normalized version, then you will see it's not 25% anymore, it's 15, but still 15%, it's quite a lot. And yeah, I tried it out. I have a PvP version as well, and it really melts in PvP. If you're interested in the build for PvP, just let me know, then I can do a quick video there as well. I don't talk too much about the mods right here, so it's quite confusing, I would say, and on the other hand side, it's pretty easy. Just have a look on the mods you have and then equip the best one you have. And here you see there are stats as well, but this one is defensive, so means the blue one. Then yeah, this increases the blue stats, and this one here is offensive, so the red ones, and there are yellow ones for sure as well. So just equip the ones that suits best to your build. That's all I can say for the moment. Then the holster, I use a Jackrabbit Gila Guard holster, mainly because of the total armor and health cooldown reduction. So cooldown reduction, although you don't have any skill power, it's still pretty important just to get your skills back faster. And from some skills, the cooldowns are really long. That is a huge improvement for every build, especially if you play solo, in my opinion. And as you can see here is an offensive, 2 offensive mod slots, so I don't use them because otherwise I couldn't use the talent on the backpack, which I was showing you before, this one here. Then the backpack, for sure you need a Petrov if you run LMG, and if you have the Demolitionist equipped, then you need the LMG damage 10%. Yeah, it's just too good not to have. And the other attributes are cooldown, pretty good as well. Armor and health for sure good as well, and crit chance. I personally would prefer to have weapon damage instead, or another one there, but 4% it's just not that high, and on the LMG you don't have usually that high amount of crit chance anyway, so it's not the best one, I would say. Hardened, that's it. That one is pretty decent because yeah, the more armor you have, the more survivability you have, and it matters a lot because of another talent on the Kneepad as well. I will talk about this later. And Safeguard as well, as you can see there, and I still have the normalized stats, so change quickly back. Then you can see 150%, it's in the normal world, not in the normalized one. And in the normalized is much lower. And 150% is quite a lot. Marcus Dahl was talking about this already, and it's a really good talent. I can't say anything else. So it's a pretty good one, and the healing, it's really good, especially if you play solo. Then the gloves, I mainly use it because of the LMG damage. Accuracy is pretty good for sure, especially with LMGs, so that the bullets are in a smaller point, they hit in a smaller point, or how do you say it? And Wicked, it's a pretty cool talent too, so 10% increased weapon damage against status affected enemies. And yes, especially in PvE, they have a lot of status effects, they have a lot of weak points, and it's not too hard to make them burn or whatever, because there's so many explosives around, so this is a pretty cool talent in my opinion. The last one, the Kneepads, I would prefer to have another brand here, for sure, or to be honest with you, because yeah, I don't run an assault rifle on this build, so that's why it's a waste of a brand item or a talent. But the attributes, they are really awesome on these Kneepads, so the bonus armor, really good, hard hitting, damage to elites for sure, pretty good for PvE anyway, and patience, that's a really awesome talent as well. So if you have a constant heal. If you stay in cover more than 3 seconds, you can see it in the gameplay at the end. This works really well, and 5%, it's quite a lot every second. So this means after 20 seconds, you have your full armor back. And for sure, the more armor you have, the better this healing will be. So That's why if you have this talent, the more armor, the better, in my opinion. And this works really, really well. That's what I said before, because Hardened is such an awesome talent to increase this stat furthermore. So with every 5%, as you can see, I'm almost at 200,000 armor. 5% of it, it's 10,000. So every second, 10,000 as a heal or armor repair. That's really insane after 3 seconds. So this is it already for the build here. If you have any other questions, please just let me know. Probably what I was looking for this one here would be Gila Guard, because then I could switch out the holster. There I would have a better one to increase my health furthermore. So I would really like to have a Gila Guard here to have a higher armor, 5% armor, and I would like to change this out to the one right here, the Heraldi. And then I would have a lot more health, as you can see right now. So it's a really huge health amount. And the headshot damage, it's pretty good with an LMG as well. So it works pretty well. And because I'm running a sniper rifle, yeah, that would work pretty well, in my opinion. So this is it for the build here. Then the skills, finally, I'm running this build with a cam launcher heal. It works really insane, especially after a kill. After the talent up here procs the safeguard, then you just have to pop one of these bursts on the ground or near you, and you're pretty immediately after on full health again. So it works really awesome together. The second skill I'm using with this build is the Seeker Mines, the cluster ones. And this is for 2 reasons. So it's not mainly for the damage. The damage is not too bad, to be honest, and especially if you have a mechanic close you and he prepares a car and you can blow up the car with the Seeker Mine as well, so that works really well, although the damage is not too high. But for me the main reason is that the NPCs, they hide really often in cover. To bring them out of cover is the first reason, and the second reason is a kind of pulse for me, because if you release it, then you can see really well which NPCs are close to you and where they are. So this is kind of like a pulse for me. And yeah, this is really my preferred PvE build at the moment. Works for every content. So I did Roosevelt Island on challenging solo. I did Heroic Bounty solo with this build, really in a group as well. So in a group it works pretty awesome as well, because you can care about yourself. The heal is really awesome you get from hiding in cover. You deal a pretty high amount of damage, as you can see on the final stats right here. It's really awesome as well. So the weapon damage 26.5k, 65 headshot damage. Reload time is for sure a little bit long, but that's LMG. That's just the kind like it is. Then LMG damage bonus 36% and all weapon damage bonus 34%. So that's really a nice build. I can't say anything else. And damage to elite 70%. It's not too good, not too bad, but it's enough for me personally. It's definitely enough. So this is it already for the build. If you have other questions or would like to see other stuff, just let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, I do really thank you a lot for your time to watch this video. Wish you great fun in the Division 2. Looking forward for the Tier 5 we get next Friday, or Friday in a week. That will be really awesome. Really looking forward. So for the last stronghold, I appreciate your likes and comments down below. It helps me a ton. It's really appreciated. And yeah, leave a thumbs up. Have a great day. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.